Places, please. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kuyate Nora, your favorite virtual castmate. And yes, y'all, you read the title correctly. Today I'm going to be telling you a story time about how I missed my Berklee audition. But before we hop into that, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you click the red subscribe button and the bell notification so that you know whenever I upload a video. And add me on Instagram because that's really where I'll be talking about my journey to Broadway. You know, just keeping up with my life and my day-to-day things, you know what I'm saying? So exactly 10 years ago, I auditioned for Berklee College of Music. At the time, I was in my high school's musical, and because I was the lead, I had to stay on top of my schedule. So one day my mom calls me and she was like, when is your Berklee audition? I know that it's coming up. And I was like, yeah mom, you know, I wrote it down, like I'll be fine, you know, this is the date, this is the email, blah blah blah. So I think I ended up forwarding her the email that I had confirming my audition date and everything like that, not thinking much of it. I think that I'm fine, and I was like, okay, this is the last weekend of my school's production. The weekend after, I'll be auditioning for Berklee, and then I had one school after that, and then I was like, okay, I'll be done for my audition season. No, y'all, this is where everything went completely downhill. My mom calls me back, tells me, do you know you missed your audition? I said, no, what are you talking about? She was like, your audition was supposed to be in Philly last weekend, but they recorded you as a no-call, no-show because you weren't there. Berklee was my #1 school. So of course I'm panicking. She ended up calling Berklee and was like, no, my daughter will audition, like we need to reschedule. So they were like, okay, that's fine, she can reschedule, but she can't audition in Philly anymore. She has to go to Boston. Mom and I ended up trekking up to Boston. I want to say this was probably the first time we had taken Megabus. We get there, we're staying at a hotel. My mom asked me to go over my songs. Your girl gets hiccups while she's going over it. Just straight up disaster. Have I sung before? So now we get to the day of the audition. All of the schools that I applied to before Berklee were classical music based. So if you've auditioned for a classical music school, you know you dress up a particular way, your hair is done in a very conservative manner, heels, formal dress, yada 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 yada. Show up at Berklee's audition? What do people look like? Not me! I literally show up, everybody's just so lax. Some people got t-shirt and jeans or little mini skirts. They got motorcycle jackets, and I'm thinking, I'm so out of place. Feel so uncomfortable, and I'm like, you know what? Just get out of your head. It's okay. Maybe you're just frazzled because nothing's going right, but you know, just stay positive, just keep pushing because you gonna make something out of this audition. So we get there, and one of the audition monitors comes up to me and like, hi Kuyate, are you ready? Well, first off, I know they didn't say my name, but they just, you know, they walked up to me and asked me if I was ready. So of course I'm like, yeah, I have all these jazz songs, and I think I asked something about an accompanist. Once again, another razzle dazzle that I keep finding out information. There's no accompanist to play for me. I said, huh? What you mean there's no accompanist? They're like, yeah, you either have to sing with the track or you bring your own accompanist. So I said, well, the website says that I may bring somebody, but I was under the impression that someone will be provided for me. So either I can sing with a karaoke track or an instrumental, or I can use whoever they provide. And I, singing the jazz songs, all 5 of them that I had prepared for my audition, thought that it would make more sense to sing with a human being, especially when we're getting to the improv section, than to use a karaoke track. Nah, sis. Baby girl had to scrap every last song in her audition book because everything was either classical or jazz. So then while I'm there, some other guy, I guess, heard what I was talking about. So the guy was like, well, I play piano, I can play for you. So the girl was like, well, if he plays for you, then your audition and your acceptance is going to be based off of his performance as well. And I was like, oh no, I don't know you, so you gotta get to scrapping. I'm gonna do this by myself. If I don't get in, it's gonna be on my accord. I don't know you from Adam. So for some crazy reason, I actually ended up having 1 extra song in my book that I kept. How and why, I don't know. I just so happened to have learned a musical theater song that I had no plans on singing, but it was in my little arsenal, you know, in case. So I actually sing Easy as Life from Maida. I had that in my book, so I was like, you know what? I know that there's an instrumental. I've actually worked with it before, so at this point, that's all I have left to offer. So I'm going to utilize that. Before you go into your audition, they put you into a practice room. Oh, oh, how could I forget this? Before I could even get to the practice room, my mom and I get into a full-fledged argument about how unprepared I have been for my #1 school's audition. I go into the practice room, I'm working on the song. Majority of the important notes are these high C's at the end. What notes were coming out? Baby, if this was the note, this is where I was going. This is where I was going. We were going here, we were orbiting. We were not doing what we needed to do. And I was like, you know what? At this point, we get into the room. Now it's go time. I plant myself. It's easy as a lie. It's easy as a lie. Like, I'm literally, during that whole, like, the last bit of the section, I'm literally just dead-eyeing it. Just like, okay, how would Aida feel? Yeah, stand strong, girl. You are strong. Then the last one goes, and of course I do, like, the typical, as life. I wrote that. I literally leaned on everything that I could to just show them, like, I'm giving y'all the last ounce of hope that I have in my particular being in this moment, okay? So I get done singing and they're like, great job. So I was like, whew, all right, sweat off my back. Did it end there? Oh no, there's more to this. So they begin to ask questions. The auditioner, one of them asked me, what are the notes in a C minor triad? Because I was so nervous and I didn't take a moment to breathe because I was just so happy that I successfully sang through the song. You know what baby girl did? She went to the whole natural minor and said ACE. I was like, oh my God, no. And then the guy was like, no, that's incorrect. So then I'm freaking out. I was like, I promise you I know the answer. I'm just like super nervous. So finally I ended up saying C, E flat, G. Then they said, do you feel comfortable improvising? I was like, oh, redemption again. Like, okay. So the guy starts playing on the piano. I was given like a nice little groove. So he was like, you'll just follow me and do whatever. So I felt extremely comfortable improvising because at the time I was heavily into jazz. So I don't know what he chose, but I started singing, I hope that you accept me into Berkeley. What a day. There's so much to be here. So mind you, and they're laughing because they're like, oh my gosh. But I was like, nah, y'all about to know today I'm coming to this school. I take a breath because I have survived probably one of the, at the time, like one of the hardest auditions that I have ever gone through because so much was happening that had nothing to do with how I envisioned my audition going. So then we get to the final component of my application process. Berkeley has a 3-step application process. You actually fill out the application online, and then you have your live audition and you have your interview. I was waiting for them to call me in for the interview, and I at this point was like, I had a little talk with God, like, God, you know what this school means to me in my journey, like, please let me show what I need to show in that room. Amen. If nothing else came through for me that day, that interview, and I believe they sent questions prior of what to anticipate of what they were going to ask me, I knew everything. And when I say everything, I meant everything that the internet could have provided me to dispel about Berklee College of Music. Of course, when we got to the question, why Berkeley? I had spent so much time defining that answer because beyond it being, to me, the #1 school for contemporary music, Berkeley to me was the hub that would have allowed me to grow into being what honestly I'm living out today. I want for Black girls in the world to see that it is okay to pursue a career in rock and make music as a country artist, a writer, whatever it is that they want to do, so long as they learn their craft and they want to do it well globally. No matter where you're coming from, to know that it is possible to find success in this avenue, and also to be someone within the industry who helps to educate artists on the music industry when it comes to contracts and terms and understanding what that means. Where I am today, oh baby, 18-year-old Q, 17-year-old Q would be so proud that I actually stuck with it and I found my lane and my alley. After that weekend, that was awful. My mom and I, obviously had a talk where we sorted through things. Let me tell you how I got accepted. I'm on the phone with a friend, right? So I was like, oh, Berkeley emailed me. Literally, this is me looking at my laptop. And I was like, they're probably telling me to look at my portal to make sure that everything is in, blah, 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 blah. So when I look at my computer, I was like, Dear Kuyate, congratulations, we have accepted you to Berklee College of Music, blah, 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 blah. Like, I literally started reading it like that. Then I was like, wait, I just got into Berklee! Oh my God! My mom was downstairs and I was, Mom, we got into Berklee! Oh my God, yes! I was lit. I could not believe. I was also in disbelief because I was like, I need to make sure that y'all not playing this. So I called Berklee and I was like, hello, this is Kuyate. I received an email saying that I got accepted for the fall. Is this a real acceptance letter? Because I remember my audition and like, I don't know. So she starts laughing. She's like, no, you were accepted for the fall of 2011. Congratulations. That is my audition story time about missing my Berklee audition and honestly the nightmare of the entire experience. Now, as a voice teacher, I make sure to thoroughly work with my high school seniors on how to prepare so that no one ever experiences the disaster of what I went through, ever. If you have questions about my audition and you have some sort of audition nightmare, please drop it down in the comment section. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy and I can't wait to see you in the next show. Bye.